Hello everyone and welcome to Headline and Prophecy. I'm Sebastian Lucido and today I'm filming from outside on my deck. Anyway, I want to open with Matthew chapter 24, which as you know is an end times chapter. Verse 3 it says, "Now as he sat on the Mount of Olives, his disciples came to him privately saying, 'Tell us, when will these things be? What will be the signs of your coming?'" What are we looking for? What will tell us we're getting close? And of the end of the age, what will it be like when you return? Jesus said, "Take heed that no one deceives you." So there'll be plenty of deception going on. "For many will come in my name, saying, 'I am Christ,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So he says there'll be plenty of deception, which means confusing messages, but also what he lays out, people are going to be deceived in thinking the opposite, as we see in Scripture. So he says, don't be troubled, saints, children of God, don't be troubled. All these things must come to pass. So God has already ordained or is going to allow what's going to happen. And, that's a whole other teaching to get your arms around that. But he goes on to say, nation will rise against nation. That's easy to understand. Wars against nations have been happening since the beginning. Kingdom against kingdom is really people group against people group. It could be Protestant against Catholic, Hindu against Muslim, white against black. So there'll be strife among people groups. There'll be famine, that's the absence of food and water. Pestilence, which is what I want to talk about today. Earthquakes, which is upheaval in nature in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So he's saying he used something from the human experience. When a woman goes into labor, she has labor pains. The pains start to begin, and then as she gets closer to birth, they intensify. They get more rhythm. They get closer and closer together until she gives birth. Jesus uses that terminology to say these are the beginning. Wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, famine, pestilence, and earthquakes. They will continue, they will intensify, they will come closer and closer together until I return. And then he goes into 2 or 3 other sections of birth pangs. In other words, they're going to all stack on top of each other and continue to get bad. I pulled out pestilence. Pestilence or plague in Scripture. It even uses the word death for pestilence and plague in different parts of Scripture. And when you look at what they're talking about something similar to COVID or smallpox or any other virus that has bubonic plague, Ebola. Any of these would qualify as pestilence. And way back when I was in Bible school and studying Bible prophecy as one of my subjects, back then we were looking at the world, and because of air travel, we were really looking to air travel as being a way that pestilence would spread throughout the world. Somebody infected in New York flying to, wherever, can affect everybody on the plane, who infects everybody, and then you have an outbreak. Well, in this recent last year or two with the coronavirus, and we see several other viruses, H1N1 and some of the others, we see that because of air travel and because of us moving around the world, it does spread very quickly. But what we learned from coronavirus is that there's a good possibility it was engineered. And if it wasn't, we know that they can engineer, and they were trying to make it more efficient as far as its contagion. And so that brings a whole new dynamic when you look at Bible prophecy, because when you go to Revelations, there are several spots in Scripture where there's a plague, there's death. There's 2 sections, just 2 of the sections. One is a seal, one's a trumpet. 25% of the earth is affected or killed, and 1/3 of the earth is affected or killed in each. One is a seal, one is a trumpet, and both involve, in one way or another, pestilence. And so we can see nations, adversaries, weaponizing pestilence, weaponizing viruses, putting a different virus on the end of the spear, if you will, because the virus contains, can contain a virus within a virus. And so you can actually see warfare breaking out now. I mean, look what they've done in the last year, and how they took advantage of something that had a very low, if you will, death rate, versus Ebola or some of the other more aggressive viruses. If a nation was able to develop a vaccine or inoculation and send surrogate agents out, it would be worse than a nuclear weapon, because it would filter throughout the system. And so this isn't meant to scare you. This isn't meant to bring any pain into your life or discomfort. It's Bible prophecy, and that's what we talk about on Mondays. Hopefully our intelligence community, our intelligence agencies are on top of this and watching this, and hopefully getting in front of it. But when you look at where we're at and how dark the world has become, there's enemies out there like, and I don't want to mention the names. I'm trying to get this teaching, we try to get around the censors. We don't want to get censored. But when you start to look at the world and those that have a view of life where they want to exterminate their enemies, there's ways to do it without nuclear weapons that would destroy the land as well. And so we need to really trust God. It's becoming darker and darker, and we need to really have faith in Him and His Word and continue to walk as a community. I encourage you to share this with someone, to try and get them attached, not just share it, try and get them attached to our ministry. We really need to have people attached to us. At some point, we're liable to be completely censored off of all social media platforms, at which we can only communicate with the people that are connected with us, where we have their first and last name and their email address. They become a free member, and by becoming a free member, you get our notes for all of our teaching, you get access to all of our curriculums and workbooks and videos. You get our private blog, which comes out on Fridays, which is what I really think, which is meant to get around the censors because it's private, it's only to our community. So we have web members, which are free, and then we have partners, which are going to get an enhanced level of service. Our What I Really Think blog is probably going to be sent to only our partners, because we actually know who they are, because they give a credit card, they have to have a valid address and a name. This seems to be where we're going, so we want to begin to bring together those that would be part of the subscription base, which would make this more private. And the other thing is, we're going to want you to start coming to our website more as we get into 2022. So we're not completely reliant on social media. We can get, you can get all of our stuff on our website. Anyway, please pray about becoming a web member and getting our notes and joining us. And if you're receiving our information, you like it, please become a partner. Join with us. $10 a month, $20 a month, a couple of coffees a month would help us with the masses of people that watch us. And then also, please share and help us grow our community. Continue to pray. Prayer is the most vital instrument we have to fight this. We hope our government is doing what they need to do, but prayer is what moves heaven and moves God. In fact, this Saturday, which is the 14th, I think, I'm teaching on getting through Great Tribulation together. How we're going to do that united and together as we go through it. The power is there to protect us and to guard us. So tune in this Saturday. Please pray about joining us, and please pray about sharing this with others. Thank you, and God bless you.